Hello there everybody, Happy New Year. Here we are in 2025, and I actually did write 2025 on the back of my tile, so all is good in the world. So I hope you've had a good time, and obviously first day to have a bit of a breather and then back to work everybody tomorrow. So please give us, just give us a little bit of time. I know you're all waiting for your products from Christmas Day and from yesterday, but we will get to them. We've all had a break over the festive period, so nobody's been in the office, and of course Yodel don't even collect till tomorrow anyway, so please give us a little bit of patience, and we'll get things to you as soon as we possibly can. So okay, here we go. What I've got today, I started with a white tile. This is one I inked a while back, and I've used, I think, one of the Crafter's Companion hybrids, because of course I've let it dry. And then rather than spritz it, I've kind of splashed a bit of water on, which has created this lovely effect here. So sometimes leaving it and just giving it a little bit of a water spritz and then just totally forgetting about it really sort of brings it out, doesn't it? So, okay, I'm going to use my circle stencil today, not something I've done for quite a while. And this is sort of my... It's not circular like yours, because it's the prototype that we tried before doing it. So mine's a bit rectangular. But please don't worry about it. If you haven't got a circle stencil, it doesn't matter. You can, draw this freehand. You could just cut the corners off the square tile. Or you could use a round tile. I know I've got a few of those lying around. But I'm going to go with what we've got, the basics. So I want a sort of a shape almost like the earth. I suppose, look at that. And then I'm going to put another one inside it. So let's have a look. Going to use, let's have a go with this one. So I'm not going to give you measurements or anything. You can kind of do it by eye and see how it kind of works. And I'm going to put an even smaller one in the middle there, like this. There you go. All right, so there we go. That's all done now. So a bit of a shape. Again, you can do this freehand. So don't panic and think, I can't do this. You can follow it through. It's not a problem. So, okay, let's have a look then. I'm going to give myself some marks. So I want to split this one into 5 sections. So here we go. Let's go 1. That's 2. So you have to do this a little bit by eye, because it can be a little bit tricky at times, because the 5's an odd one, but that looks about right, doesn't it? That's okay there. Okay, and then let's have a look at each one of these. I'm going to come in a little bit, because let's have a look. Either side, I want to give myself a little bit of a curve. I'm sticking with pencil for now, so see either side here, look, I'm going to put a curve in. You see I've left a little bit of a gap either side like that. Same again, look. And again. I hope you're having not too bad weather. I know it just gave out lots of rain and wind and things. I know some things were cancelled, so I hope everybody's okay. But drive home wasn't too bad last night. It was all right. Okay, there we go. So in each one of these, I'm going to put myself a bubble, and then when I'm happy with that, I'm going to come and draw that in with pen. Just want to sort of ease myself in gently. There you go. Don't want to have to think too much. Okay. So let's have a look. Now in between these ones, let's go. I've got my lines. I'm going to come in with pen. Are you ready? So if I put those bubbles in, that's a good starting point. All the way around. They're not too big, see? It's nice and small. I'm just going to take my watch off. It's causing me problems there. All right, you ready for this then? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that in there. See, it makes life a bit easy, doesn't it? We've drawn it in pencil first, so we're in our comfort zone at the minute. Everybody's happy enough. We've got these lines going on. All good to go. And I'm going to sort of sketch in that middle one as well. I could bring my stencil back in, but I don't think I need to. I'm going to draw that in place there. Okay, so let's have a look at the gaps in between now. You see here? So what I want to do, actually I'm going to start this one. I'm going to come around and I'm going to go slightly out of that shape, you see, and put that little curved line on the top there. So just working it round. You can do this any way you like. You don't have to follow it the same as me. I know not everybody's left-handed in the world. There we go with that. Okay, so far so good. That doesn't look too bad. So okay, let's bring in some lines now. I'm going to sort of follow this one down, and what I want to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to give myself, I'm not going to go right to the middle, you see that's my middle line. So I'm going to do that by eye on each one. So I'm kind of moving the paper rather than moving my hand or my pen, really. Just giving it something similar to work to each time. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side, but again, I'm going to take it so it's not quite to a point, you see. So I've still got that kind of pencil line in there helping me out there. Bring that one in there, look. And then the next one. And then the next one. So we've got that kind of a shape. That's nice, isn't it? We like that. Okay. So let's have a look at the next bit then. I'm going to imagine again. Let's have a look. See, I imagine a lot, don't I? Let's look at this middle bit here. And what I'm going to do is look at that in the middle and put a line in there. So turn it round. Where's the middle? Look, put a line in. Around the middle, put a line in. All right. We can all imagine a line, can't we? Gives us that little bit of a guide. So we've got that going all the way around. So again, we've got these sections. So all's good in the world. So let's have a look then. I'm going to put in, you see where this dot is? It would kind of be, if I put my middle there, it would kind of be here. You see, if I was to line it up with the middle. And then this one would kind of be here. So putting those in, you see. Let's do that one again. So there's my middle. And if I line up that one with that, I could even put a ruler across. That would be where it extended. Same with that one, look. There. Everybody okay with this? I know it's a bit to think about. So it's kind of extending that line out. If I put a ruler across there, see? That's where my little dot would come out. Okay, we get the idea. Sometimes it's, you know, it's nice to have a straight edge to work to, and do that if you want, but I can kind of work this out. So I'm getting these lines all the way around. See, I'm back to where I started now. I've got those in the process. So where I've got each of these marks, I'm going to put myself a little dot there, look, or a bubble, and a little one there. Now you notice I've gone either side, you see? And rather than sort of go around and do them, I'm going to bring these curves in so you can see where I'm going with it. There. And there. Okay? So let's look at the next one. You see here, look. So I'm going to put a bubble there. A little bubble there. And then I'm coming around and I'm going to join it to this one. Around. Join it to this one. So let's do that again. This side of the line, this side of the line, around and around. Turning it again, this side of the line, this side of the line. Get the idea? I think if we do this as we're going around, rather than trying to draw all the bubbles and then come in with the lines, doing it this way means that we're not going to get lost. Okay, I'm just going to go out a little bit so you can see that. Okay, so you see now here where we've got these little shapes. Again, look, so where my bubbles are, I'm going to come around and fill that one in like this. So next one, around my bubble, look, create my shape. Next one, around my bubble, and create my shape. The next one, my shape. The next one. And there we go. So we've got that. Okay. So we've then got these little bits to finish off because they've got dots that have got nothing connected. So I'm going to come in there now. What I want to do, I'm going to, again, let's gauge this a bit. If you leave between there and there, I'm going to put a mark halfway. So again, by eye, I'm not going to worry about measuring it. About halfway. So what I want to do is I'm going to come around the bubble and I'm going to come in to that point there. You see it gives it a little bit of a thinner space there, and I've got a gap there then. If I follow and join, connect to that line as I'm going around, I've got something to work to. So they're all going to be kind of similar. And then that one. And then that one. Okay, that gives us that shape. So let's look at these gaps here. So see, this is where my circle is that I drew, and this is the foot of the gap there. I'm going to sort of zoom in again. And again, I can kind of, don't need to imagine, I know that that's where the middle is. So I'm going to come in on those and put in a little bump like that. I'm not going to do anything else at the minute. I'm going to put those bumps in so I can identify which sections I'm working with. So let's go out again so you can see that. Okay, so it's on the outside there as I've gone around. So I can now come in and do another line. So I'm in my comfort zone again now because I've already drawn the shape and I know where I'm drawing it, so I don't have to think too much anymore about that. Gives me that shape, okay? So again, facing me here, I'm going to put a loop in that's going to get to the top of that circle shape. And then either side, I'm going to put some more in. And I'm going to touch that circle wherever I can. You see? So loop, and then either side, see? Either side. So again, I've got a little bit of a gauge of where these are sitting. So they're all going to be kind of a similar size. So how they work their way around. Next one. And in and along we go. Same with this one. And the next one. See, it just flows then once you've got the hang of it. So you've got those little patterns going on. So I'm going to fill this in with a pen, but that means I could do with a slightly thicker nib. So I've got my 05 here, and I'm going to come in with that and fill that bit in there. Okay. It's very definite then, isn't it? So, you know, you've last chance to make any amendments, because once this is in, it's going to be noticeable. Look at that. There you go. I'm going to sort of fill my bubbles in as well. They're quite small, so I'm not going to be able to leave a little highlight or anything. But that's okay. You can always come back in with a white pen. Put that in a short while. There you go. So just sort of filling them in, really. Nothing crazy there. Okay, so far so good. We've got our main structure now. It's a case of let's put something in there that looks a little bit interesting. So first things first then, I'm going to come in a little bit more and I'm going to focus on this one here. It's quite a large one. And back with my 3 pen, and I'm going to put that line down the middle. And then either side, I'm not going to do it completely straight. You see how it's kind of moves? So I'm going to sort of follow the angle of the shape like that. I'm going to do that in all of them. So coming down that line, one on this side, one on this side. Next one down here, one down here, and one down here. See that one, to me, that doesn't look in the middle anymore. It looks so I'm not kind of beholden to it. So as a guide, so I'm going to slightly amend that one. and then into those, like that. Okay, so let's have a look at the next. Now you see, I want to put some lines in here, but these can kind of put me off a bit. So I'm going to get rid of them. Okay, I'm going to do that on each of those shapes because I don't want it to confuse me in any way and me thinking it's a line I've got to follow, because it's not. Okay, so again, I imagine middle, bit of a curve line this time, see? And then one at the top, one in the middle there. So again, middle, top, bottom. So if you would prefer to go around and do all the middles first, that's fine, you can do that. But I'm quite happy to do this. I think it's, once I've got the idea of it, I know where I'm going. Let's have a little look at that. Okay, so we've got that kind of a pattern. So now this is the one where you've got to sort of go with the flow, because we didn't measure these grids, so we don't know if they're going to be perfectly accurate, and that's fine. So what I want to do is, and again, you see, you can do an angled line this way if you want, but I'm going to go this way, more comfortable, and I'm going to put an angled line inside each of those shapes. You see? So I'm turning them all into sort of odd-shaped triangles. All right, they're not going to all be the same, but that's okay. Like that. So if you want to diagonally do it this way, that's fine. Or if you want to go diagonally this way, then that way, that's fine too. You see, every one. So even if it looks a bit funny and you think, oh, it's not giving me a good line, they've all got to go from one side to the other of that space. And again. So yeah, I sort of start the middle one and work my way out. It's a bit of a habit of mine. You could start anyway, like. Doesn't matter. And then fill in those, forming those little triangles. I think I've got some salt or something underneath those. There you go. See, I could do all of those at the top if I wanted, and then come down the next one. Doesn't matter as long as we've got sort of triangular shapes. And to that one. Next one. Follows it down, see? Along we go to that one. And that one. That's why we didn't put loads in, we just put a few in, see? Gives us size. So what I'm going to do now, in each of those triangles, so you think, oh, this is going to take forever. It isn't. I'm going to draw around them. But when I get to the corners, I'm going to go round. As exactly as I said, let's go round all of them, like that. You see, it's forming this slightly different shape now. And I'm going to work my way through, so it's looking at a little bit different, see? As I go round. Now, if you think yours is a little bit small to do this, that's fine. You could either switch to a smaller pen, or you could leave this a little bit out. And you could have it sort of as little triangles like loops, but I think it adds a little bit of something to it, see? So let's have a look at that compared to the others. It just gives it a little bit of something different. And that didn't take me too long. It's kind of easy. Again, you've got something to work to. You've got those shapes. So all you've got to do is draw inside each one. No problem at all. Okay. And sort of keep it going. It's not too far to go. Quite small, so if you go over one or you don't quite meet the line, it doesn't matter. And they're quite small, as I say, so you're not going to have too many people going, oh, you didn't draw on that line. If they get that close, what are they doing? Well, you see, sort of works it round. Just looks a bit different, doesn't it? And changes things up. It looks a bit crazy paving kind of thing, I think. that's your paving. I hope it's secure. Looks a little bit loose around the edges, doesn't it, with these little gaps in. I think when you're doing something like this as well, it's quite a detailed pattern, try not to hold your pen too tight, just sort of let it go now and again, you know, because if you're not careful, you can just sort of really clench up with it and you end up with a bit of wrist ache. You don't want that, not because you're drawing a few lines. Let's look at its way through. I've got this one and then one more. See, just sort of going around those shapes. You know, you could always do one and then, you know, move on to the next pattern, because if you're watching it later, so you break it up a bit. But it is all about that muscle memory and looking it through. Hey, look at that. Look at the difference. Right, let's do this one. Last one. And around we go. It really just look a bit different when you've done this. And then, of course, when we put a bit of shading on it, look different again. There we go. So we've actually, anybody looked at their diary yet and the two little patterns that we're going to be looking at? I haven't decided what day I'm going to do that yet, but I'm certainly going to do a video on those two patterns. So you've got something to work out through the month. Okay, so far so good, liking that. All right, I'm going to get rid of any pencil lines now. Just sort of around the edges there. And in the middle. Don't really need any of those. Let's get rid of those little bits. Oh, okay. So let's have a look at this in the middle then. Oh, still got a bit of a line there. Okay. So I'm going to sort of start with this middle bubble. I'm going to bring a bit of a curve in like this. I'm going to come back a little bit, do another one. Back and another one. You see? Back and another. Back and another. Just kind of fill it in as much as you can. Got a little bit of a shape going on, a bit of interest. Okay. And then I want to sort of look at this one here. And I'm going to put myself, I'm going to come in with my 5 on this one. And I'm going to put like a little pointy shape, see, underneath that one. And then let's fill it in. So, same with all of them. I might as well draw it with the 5 and then fill it at the same time. And the next one. And the next one. Filling it in each time. The next. Oh. That's it. Okay, back to my 3. You see I've got a line around that one. I'm going to put a line on that one as well, see? Kind of either side. See, it doesn't matter which way around you do it, whatever works for you. And to that one. Okay, let's have a look at that. So next bit, we want to have a quick look at these, and I'm going to come back in with that 5. I'm just going to put my lid on my 3, so I'll do it here. And just like I've put those in there, I'm going to put another either side of those two, and again, fill them in with my 05. Okay. And then this one. So if you want to draw them first and then fill them after, you can do that. Or if you'd rather not fill them at all, doesn't matter. It's your tile, your picture. That one in there. That one in there. And this one. And in we go. So it happens quite quickly, that does, when you go into a pen that's got a bigger nib. So sometimes if you are drawing, you know, doing more A4 than this, you can actually sort of go into a bigger pen. It's not going to change things, it's just going to give you a little bit more ability to move. Okay. All right, so let's have a look at this incomplete. I'm going to come in with a bit of pencil now. Now, if you want to add some colour, we've talked about colour before. Look at something that you want to sort of really stand out. So, for example, it might kind of be these bits. It might be the flowers. You know, it could be anything in that sense. I do have a few colours with me because I've got everything's in the car still from last night. So, apart from my main sort of pencil kit. So I do have, look, my original roll of watercolour pencils. So I can use a couple of those maybe. I think what I want to do is you'd think the flowers, maybe I'm going to go in with this middle bit. And being that I've got a bit of purpley blue, I'm going to use similar colours. So I've just got a selection of them out. You see where that's sort of going to take me. And if I start with, so I'm going to work with these. I'm going to come across the whole thing, look, in here with that pink. So I say the whole thing. Now, I did mention yesterday that you don't have to use water with watercolour pencils if you don't want to. The beauty of that means that if you're colouring with these on any surface, really, you can then go over the top with your pen afterwards. So let's have a look. I've got, here we go, it's number 25. Let's put a little bit of that on each side now. So I'm going to put some on, look, and I'm going to fade it out. You see, let's go in a little bit more. So I'm not intending, oh, it doesn't want me to use water with these. I don't think it necessarily needs it. So see, so I'm putting some on here, and I'm going to ease off the pressure as I work my way in. Okay, and so that you can mix them with water if you want, that's why they're there, but just means you don't have to draw everything at the same time. You can add more on if you want to later. Yeah, so a bit of pressure and then off to nothing. Okay. And looks quite nice, that does. I wasn't sure if I was going to put colour on, but sometimes you don't want to make that decision, do you, until you're ready. All right, last one on there. Ease it off. Same again, look, there, ease it off. Okay, so while I've got this colour in my hand, I'm going to come round and do a little bit there, look. So I'm going to do it the other way. See, I'm going to put the darker colour on first and then bring that lighter colour in after. Let's see if it works any differently. I know everybody's got their own way of colouring, so whatever works for you, it's fine. I'll bring that kind of pinky colour back in. I'm going to go over the top of everything. See? And back over. Now you find, see that I think that's blended a little bit better than that, but that's sort of meant, I expected that because you put the pink on all the lightest colour and the darker is going to work into that, whereas going light to dark, it is a little bit trickier. Still doable though, it's not a problem. And I don't mind, it's got that little bit of extra there, it's fine. There you go. Alright, let's have a little look at that. There we go. So I think I'm going to bring in, what have I got here? Even darker purpley colour, number 2. And I'm going to come in and add some just on the edges there, see? Just as though I was putting pencil in there, you know, like I would normally with a Tortillon. Now you see that one, it's a little bit thicker, so it stands out from the rest of them. Not a problem. I can bring that purpley colour back in and I can kind of ease it off into the piece a bit. Yeah. Alright, regular pencil. So let's have a look. I'm going to come in underneath that triangle. And I'm going to do that on all of them, of course. And again, if I wanted to, I could use this on top of those watercolour pencils as well. See, I might do that, look. See, over the top of the pencils. it sort of opens up a whole new world when you can go over the top of your colours like that. Okay, and then see in here, look, I go quite sort of strong there, like that. And then over the top of these. Again, quite strong there, you know. I'm not sort of being quite very gentle. I want to get plenty of graphite in there. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit in the middle, but just sort of like at half of it, you see. All right, let's get the tortillon out and see what this looks like then. Let's soften it off there. And underneath those triangle shapes. Just be careful because it's quite thin there, so we don't want it going over that colour in that sort of particular place. Okay. Then we're into this bit. I might come back and put some in there in a little while, but let's get this done first. Okay, see, I'm leaving a bit of a gap in between. I want it to be dark as it can be there, and then coming into kind of nothing, so you've got a bit of a highlight in the middle there. All right, just nice and gentle with it. Just in little bits. There you go. That bit, look. Now you see, because I've got a coloured tile, it might be that I can come in there with a white pencil and make sure that highlight really stands out. But I'm going to do this first and see what I think. There you go. Jeez. Wander around with that. It's looking good, isn't it? I'm liking this. Same with these. So I've sort of moved to swirls. I want to keep it quite dark. It's getting lighter at the top. So instead of having my highlight in the middle, my highlight's going to be here at the top end. So swirl it and move it up a little bit. Same with this one. See, I could always possibly add a little bit more in there as well. But we'll see how that goes. And then of course I've got a little bit round here. I can sort of work it in. So you see, that's where I put the purple on first. So it doesn't matter too much because the grey is going to hide the shadows a little bit. So back with pencil, you see this one here then. I'm going to come in there, put some in, but I'm not spread it too far down. So it's just underneath and back and forth, look, underneath that shape there. And that one. And again, so very gentle. So just back and forth with that, because what I want to do is leave a little bit there as a bit of a highlight. Okay. So I'm going to bring, not going to bring in the white watercolour, I'm going to bring in my white chalk pencil. And where I've got this little bit of a gap in the middle there, I'm going to add a little bit in. I'm not pressing on too much because I don't want it to be so standoutish that that's all you see. So let's fill those little areas in. Okay, don't really want to kind of blend it either. So let's put a little bit along the edge there. So that changes the place where the light's hitting, which is right on the edge there. It also suggests that maybe goes underneath a little bit more, a little bit in the middle there on that edge. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, almost there. Let's just go out a little bit. I think I'm going to come back in with my pen for a minute. This is my 03. You see where we've got this line going underneath? I want to bring that back in. I just want to make sure that you can see it. Okay, so just take your time with this. Take some care. You know, and work your way around. kind of got those lines in place. And I'm going to do the same on these ones, because again I want to make sure that you can see one's going under the other. You know, putting this black pen in is going to help that a little bit more. Sort of re-establishes that line, doesn't it? And that one. I just want that sense of depth kind of thing. Okay. Another way we can sort of help that a little bit, let's have a look. I'm going to bring in my black pencil. So this is out of my watercolours. And I'm going to add some very lightly, just so the edges. Just where I've put that black pen. You see the difference? Now, if you sort of, the beauty of doing this, if you put some on and you think I've put too much on, you can always add a touch of water and you can fade it out. But I'm happy for that shadow to be there. I really want it to stand out. I want it to look like it's definitely going underneath, see? And I'm going to add a bit of pencil to those as well. Now, I've not done pen there, it just gives it a different feel, so not everyone is the same, see? Alright, that one. Alright, almost done. Let's put a little bit of black around where I put the shadows there. And then I think just a little bit of white pencil. This is my chalk pencil again. You see I've got my V's there, let's go in. If you can. A little bit on the edges, you see the difference? Now it's might not want to go in because they're quite fine. So, you know, you could use a white gel pen there. But, well, again, I don't want it to be too kind of in your face. A little bit just in the middle there. I've not done much on those, but just a little bit of a highlight. Makes all the difference. Yeah. So you see there, I mean, you'll never see this on yours because you're never going to look at it that close. You see I've got a little bit of white there. This is my 05. I'm going to come back in and just clean it up a bit. Okay. Doesn't need any more than that. Just a bit of a clean up. So let's have a little look at what we've got there. Oh, you see here as well. Hang on. I'm going to go with a 3. See here, look. It's just gone over the line there. It's going to bring that line back in. And that's going to hopefully just make sure that they're all nice and highlighted. See, just a little bit of a clean up. It's easy enough to do. Just keep it, you know, keep it light. And it's going to bring that little bit of lightness to your piece. Let's see. Okay, let's have a look at the whole thing then. All right, here we go. There it is. Okay, now it doesn't matter which way around this one is at all. It's kind of thing. So I'm going to sign it down here. There we go. And this is our first one of the year. Goodness me, already the first one of the year. So I hope you've enjoyed that one and you're going to have a go at it. You know, even try it maybe doing different colours. When I say different colours, maybe you want to take the colour out of here and put the colour in here. Or maybe you want the colour to go in these instead. And it's going to make you look at different parts of the piece. And again, with your watercolour pencils, it does mean if you want to, you can actually go in, as I say. Let's just sort of do that so I can show you what I mean. So look at my little flowers, for example. I can go in and I can put more lines over the top with no problem at all. Whereas your regular wax pencils and the black edition, you're not going to be able to do that. See, I've got to go around now and do this. But it just shows that, you know, if you're not so sure, you can colour them with this. Don't have to add water. But you're still going to get a line over the top. And sometimes we don't want to colour over our lines. We want to have the blackness on the top, don't we? There you go. All right. And there it is. Okay, Happy New Year, everybody. Enjoy it. And I'll catch up with you at some point to do the little tile challenge in your diaries. And other than that, I will see you on Friday for our next tile. So have a good one, everybody. Back to work tomorrow, so don't forget to set your alarms. That includes my stuff. We'll be working, I say, on your parcels and your packages just as soon as we can. So we're pretty good. Once we get going, we're on it. We'll be getting there. So shouldn't be too long for you. Okay, so thank you for your patience, and I will catch you all soon. So take care. Bye.